Now you know why I had to go, I had to go. I still love you. I hope you know, I hope you know. Can't deny the truth. We were never meant to be. Sorry I had to leave, 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 leave. Leave, 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 Now you know why I had to go, I had to go. I still love you. I hope you know, I hope you know. Can't deny the truth. We were never meant to be. Sorry I had to leave, 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 leave. Now you know why I had to go, I had to go. I still love you. I hope you know, I hope you know. Can't deny the truth. We were never meant to be. Sorry I had to leave, 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 leave.
I woke up so early, I packed in my bags and I gave you a kiss. I remember that you told me that I could go to the hill. And now you're calling me baby, cause you're going crazy and you can't get me out of your head. Get me out of your head. Get me out of your
Hello, hello, hello.
Get me out of your head.
How are we?
Get me out of your head.
Another IRL stream
Get me out of your
for you on this fine Thursday evening.
I don't like to say goodbye, and you already know. You didn't believe me, and you let me go.
Chat's already popping off. Lovely to see.
I didn't know when you said to leave you. I was ready to go.
We're going to have a small change of plans. In between quali and the sprint race, we are going to do the giveaway reveal. Bit of background for you. I've got better internet now, so I've been fiddling around with some of the stream settings to get better quality for you, and I think it's okay, but it's taken me the last half hour to sort. So I apologise that we're not going to be getting around to the giveaway immediately. Evening to you, TD, Samantha, Rids, Nightman in the chat already. And Snacks, thank you for the 4 months sub, mate. Really appreciate that. As ever, please let me know if there's any issues with the stream quality. Because, well, you guys and girls are going to be the best people to let me know for that. And thank you very much, TD. Begs for their rain today. Thank you for the 8 months, brother.
I don't like to say goodbye. You already know. You're the thing that made me, and you let me go.
Need to update your graphics. Yeah, I haven't got round to doing that today. Yeah, apologies. Right, we are getting going. Save that for a bit. Hello all. Yes, I know, Tom. I usually update it every week, but I couldn't do that today. Started a bit late. Why don't we have this intro screen on 82? Because I can stream via PC now with my internet. Deflated on Sunday and Snacks on Sunday, they only stream on Xbox. So that is why. And, Alphamati, look at this. I created this last week. I'll be updating it every 2 weeks, so Canada last week will not be involved in it. Deflated. So let's focus our attention on quali, because it's going to be happening thick and fast, because it is just one qualifying session. It is a sprint race format today. No, Alpha Matty, that's just it's just not true. It's all dry. Thank you very much for that. Before I forget, do that, because why the hell not? Oh dear. There we go. So hopefully we've got better quality on the stream. Let me know if it is having issues or wobblies. I need to get in a position where I can see my TV better. Let's whack that up a bit. That's fine. So, round number 10. We are in Austria. I feel like this is too low. Okay. We are in Austria for round number 10. If you joined us on Tuesday, you will have witnessed our 250th IIRL League race. So thank you very much to everyone who's been involved. I think we have almost as many races in the league throughout its history than how many races we've done. Close to 210 different people raced in this league before, whether it's just a one-off, one-appearance race, whether it's race a couple of times and then leave because it's not for you, or whether it's Mr. Wiggles, who holds the record on 170 odd races. Thank you very much to everyone for your support. We've recently hit over 700 followers on the channel as well. We're hitting milestones, and we cannot be any more grateful to the league for doing that. Streaming awesome. Thank you for that. Hopefully the quality is better from last week. Can someone tell me, actually, is this in 1080p or is this in 720? I think it's in 720. I'll have to work on getting 1080p next week. Joseph Hale's coming through the middle part of the lap. Austria circuit we're all very aware of, so we won't need too many introductions. Beautiful yellow and red Ferrari this time around. Through the final sector at the home of Red Bull. And to kick us off, it's a 1 minute 4.4. Let's switch on with Jacob then. See if he can challenge his teammate in terms of lap time on this opening run. So we just got a snap there in the final corner, went over the outside curb, and that is this and next lap invalidated. So not the best start for Jacob, but only a small tiny mistake. I'm sure he won't be too disappointed about that one. 720, yes, I thought so. I'll try and figure out. I'll do some research next week and see if I can get it in 1080p. I should be able to. Yeah, hopefully we don't have any issues. I've not dropped a single frame, so maybe that means I can go up a little bit in terms of stream quality. Camper, 5th fastest in the early stages, 105.1. And that guy has invalidated coming through the middle sector. What about Greg? 16.2 for the first. As we say, qualifying tonight is going to be fast and furious. Not Fast X standard, probably, hopefully better than that. But as we say, one quali session. We have a sprint race of 12 laps coming up, and then a feature race of 36 laps coming up. So we have 48 laps of racing ahead of us. That was your first lap today, says Joseph Hales. Well, not too bad. Only 4 tenths away from CM21, who he himself admitted he is a quali merchant in the party earlier on. And ahead of 10.10. Not too bad for your opening lap, Joseph. And that is just wide at the final corner from Greg. Snacks has done a 1 minute 4 and a quarter. We have a debutant here tonight, Jellyman Tim. So welcome to the league, Jellyman Tim. I know you've been in the stream a couple times in previous races. Couldn't make it last week, but here tonight. So welcome, Jellyman Tim. You are the second Tim in the league after myself. That's a nice little slide from TD, but I'm sure his Delta won't be too happy with it. 1 minute 4.7. CTFD then has backed off. And thank you very much, Padge, for subbing for 9 months. You have subbed just as long as someone who is pregnant. I'll leave that with you. Avenicus will go again. I need to turn that up. There we go. Yeah, peeps in the chat, let me know. What do you think of this Austria circuit? It's a fan favourite. We didn't have it last season. We did a random calendar, and this as well. In fact, there's a 3-race stint where the tracks weren't included. So Canada last week wasn't in Season 4. Austria this week wasn't in Season 4. And neither was Silverstone, which is next week. And we will have a prize for next week. Fastest lap of the race, I believe. Goldilocks and Rids are sponsoring. I believe, is it Rids' birthday or Goldilocks'? I think it's Rids' birthday. Maybe if Rids is in the chat, you can confirm for us. Yes, thank you very much. So Rids' birthday is next week, and to celebrate, £20 will be offered to each tier for the fastest lap. So check out for that next week, as Avenicus does a 4.3. Let's go on board with Greg. Does a 1 minute 4.9. And Felix. Only his second race in 81 this season, after being promoted a few weeks ago from 82. Scored a incredible second place finish at Spain. Wonder if he has the pace to challenge for another podium tonight. A 1 minute 4.3, only 1 millisecond off of Avenicus. And that, my friends, is a very impressive time. I do apologise as well. We have another debutant here tonight. We have Barbar Jr. I don't know if that's short for Barbara or if it's Barbar Binks. I don't know. I imagine he's probably heard the Barbar Black Sheep jokes, so we're not going to do that. But welcome, Barbar. hope you have a lovely time here in IIRL. Josh coming out for his first lap, so we'll go on board with him. Haven't seen him yet tonight. Birthday on the 23rd, so I believe that is the Saturday. So Rids' birthday next Saturday. Hope you have a fantastic one. I am aware, TD. Thank you very much. And there is a prize on offer this week, not only with the giveaway, which we are going to be sorting immediately after Quali. If I forget, please remind me. That was an awkwardly timed sneeze. Driver of the Day, all this week, is sponsored by Padge, so thank you very much. £15 will be given to the Driver of the Day, and it will not be done on stream, it will be done in the Discord via a driver vote. So I will pick a few drivers who I think are worthy of winning Driver of the Day this evening, and that could be from Quali, that could be Sprint Race, could be Feature Race, could be all three, could be a mix of two of them. Thank you, Samantha. Very kind. So yeah, we will pick a few drivers. They will go into a vote. All the drivers can vote for who they think Driver of the Day should be, and the winner of that vote will receive £15. Lots of money being thrown out in this European section of the season. Snacks has gone quick, as you saw a few moments ago, on a 104.014. Almost very satisfying. Very close at the top there, less than a tenth separating the top four. Snacks CM21, who has taken the last two pole positions in AT1 this season. We and Josh, I'm sure we are all expecting to be up there. Smaller Smiley currently propping up the board. Jellyman Tim, his teammate, does a 4.6 and goes in between 10.10 and that guy. Nice company to be with there. See if Jacob can get a clean lap on the board, as we have only 7 minutes left of Quali. It is now crunch time. Those opening runs will be half decent, but the track is improving. The sun is out. It's going to be all dry. Track evolution going to be playing a factor. So we may see some 1-minute threes this evening. Tuesday night's quali was not conventional. We had mixed conditions, so this is going to be the quickest lap time in quali you see this week. No offence to the 82 drivers on Sunday, but I'm sure if they were quick enough to challenge for pole in 81, they would already be here by now. 4.6 for Jacob, head of Jellyman. Double J's in 10 and 11. As TD is just narrowly down on his PB in Sector 1. TD returning after holiday has unfortunately got the lurgy that we call COVID, so I hope for a speedy recovery, TD. And the fact he's committed enough to get on the track tonight is very impressive. So, Avenicus, fantastic lap time. We're almost into the 1-minute threes. As TD just narrowly misses out on his PB, missing the chance to go ahead of that guy on that occasion. But Avenicus, from out of nowhere, to be honest, goes provisional pole, and we are only 100th of a second away from the 1-minute threes. It certainly is close. Snappy. What is your favourite / strongest track? That's a difficult one. I'm not sure what my strongest track is because I'm still adapting to the no assist life, so it could be anything, to be honest. Greg improves to 11th place, not too bad. Only a fraction away from Jacob in the top 10. My favourite track has been Hungary, and it's been Hungary for the last 2 games. Fun fact though, 3 games ago Hungary was my least favourite track, and I decided to then sweat it and get better, and it turned into my favourite track. I don't know if anyone finds that interesting, but I do. CTFD, no improvement on that occasion, as 10-10 has recently improved to P6. CM21 then, will it be a trifecta of pole positions? He only needs 300ths or more to get provisional pole back off of Venicus, so certainly very possible here, and CM21 is a third of the way to doing that, 100th up in the middle sector, but it looks like he's going into the pits. So maybe some kind of issue on the lap, maybe once some set tyres get that perfect run on the board. Let's go on board with Asthma Frog. Haven't quite followed a lap of his, and we will follow Padge as well once he starts his lap in a few seconds time. TD, there's a lot of time in the lap, just can't hook it at the minute. Well, that seems to be Austria. It's very difficult to hook up a perfect lap on this track. There's always some kind of space for improvement, and with every 100th of a second, millisecond counting for positions here, a perfect lap will be hard to come by, but if you get it, you'll be sitting pretty on the grid. Only 1.2 seconds separates the top 18. So all of these drivers, and I imagine Asthma Frog will be somewhere between 1st and 19th when this lap comes together. 2 minutes 40 left. Frog does a 4.4, not too bad there, keeping company with Joseph Hales, who had a fantastic sprint race on Tuesday night, so watch out for him in the sprint race. As promised, let's go on board with Padge as he comes across the line to start or just finish a run. I'm not sure if there was much improvement there. I joined a little bit too late. Barbar, that is a slower sector one than he hoped, or she hoped, I don't know. And that is a aborted lap. Joseph Hales invalidating in the first corner. That's not going to help his cause, but he could go round again for one final run. People filtering back out onto the track now for their final runs. Out laps galore at the moment. People crossing the line, exiting the pits in sector 1. Greg has backed off. Felix is on an outlap. 10-10 is gaining energy, so not on a push lap either. CM21 then seems to be the one to watch right now. Avenicus is also out on track. Padge has come back into the pits to retire the car, so 17th will be the best quality that Padge can hope for tonight. CM21 getting traffic, and that is awful timing. He's got 3 more cars ahead of him. He's got a Haas, a Ferrari, 2 Alfa Romeos in the way. I would not be surprised if this is no improvement at all. That is very unfortunate for CM21. He might feel very aggrieved here if this is not pole position, and he's, I think he's put a bit too much throttle in frustration. Out of the final corner. Avenicus has invalidated, so has Snacks, so that is the end of their quali runs, and CM21 will not be shifting up any positions at all for the remainder of the session. Deflated Wee through sector 2 is a 10th down as Josh comes round to start a new lap. 10-10 is out there as well, just coming into sector 2 as we speak. It is all heating up in quali, and there's mistakes galore. Plenty of people already finished their sessions. It's a mighty last sector from Deflated and jumps up into the top 3. But what about 10-10? He has invalidated, and there'll be no improvement. So pole position here could be down to either Joseph Hales or Josh. Joseph Hales, Jacob, goes across the line and comes into 6th place. And next across the line is someone who I don't know. That guy, no improvement on his time. He'll stay 15th as across the line comes the two Alfa Romeo. Smaller Smiley ahead of Jollyman Tim on this occasion. 12th and 14th for the Alfa Romeo pairing. Only CTFD separating and splitting those two drivers. And here comes Josh. Will this be provisional pole? Needs a 10th. Yes, it will. He improves by 2/10 and takes pole position here in Austria. And I need to stop talking for that. Wow, that was very close. And in the end, only one driver really got the best lap possible out there. We know Deflated did improve a little bit, but he was down in the middle sector by almost 2/10. So Josh there was the only one to hook up that perfect lap out of the top 7 or 8 in that final few moments. So Josh and Avenicus on the front row of the grid for the first time in IRL. Very, very well done. Would have been provisional pole had Josh not absolutely bossed that lap at the end. Snacks, Wee, CM21, all the regular customers in the top 5 in quali. Jacob, 10-10, Felix, Greg and Joseph round out the top 10. And two debutants stand there in 14th and 15th place. Hopefully they can have a good sprint race, get themselves up near the points. Right, we are going to turn our attention really quickly to the giveaway. In case you've been living under a rock for the last couple of weeks and you haven't seen our streams, for 2 weeks we have had a giveaway open. On Tuesday night, as we said, was our 250th league race, and to celebrate that we were giving a £40 Amazon gift card. Thank you very much, Snacks. It is too late to enter in case you haven't already. That closed as soon as Wednesday happened, so we will not be accepting anyone else. Right, I need to slow down my speech. Let's have a look. Okay, get rid of that for a little bit. So you can see on board, on the screen even, we have 37 entries into this draw. The names are blacked out because that is their Discord username, so I'm not going to be revealing that on stream. But you can see, if you have entered, you can quite clearly see your response is there. And the main thing we're going to be focusing on is these numbers on the side of the screen. This is going to be a random draw, so the number that it respects to, for instance, I know this first person who was entered, they will be number 2 in the draw, if that makes sense. And we will be going to select a random number between 2 and 37. The winner corresponds to the number in the spreadsheet, and I will then contact them afterwards. Hopefully that makes complete sense. Josh has lagged out of the lobby, so hopefully he can get back in, but he won't be able to restart to start the sprint race immediately. Oh, there's a restart. Why is there a restart? That will explain why everyone's leaving. I'm just going to get in this lobby first. While we're waiting, thank you very much for the very, very kind words and messages in this giveaway. All you had to do was fill in the sentence IRL is and then whatever. Thankfully we had no mean messages. I guess that is a sign we're kind of doing something right. But yeah, you can see them all on screen there. It's yeah, thank you very much. I was reading all of them the other day and it was very touching to hear all of the nice things that you have said about me. Right, let's get into this new lobby then. Evening, JJ. I have an invite. Okay. Right, we're in the lobby. That's all done. Let's focus on the giveaway for now. Joseph Hales, I won the sprint from 9th on Tuesday. I start 10th tonight. Just wanted more of a challenge. Just the process. Yes, we already referred to that in the stream. Right, giveaway. So entries number 2 to 37, and it's happening right now. Right, let's go. So this is going to be a one-time click. All right. The winner of the giveaway is, drum roll at home. If I could roll my R's, I would do that right now. It's 34. So this person, if you recognise your giveaway entry, congratulations, you have won. I will have a look right now to see who it is. Oh, it's Hyper. Hyper's won. Congratulations, Hyper. I don't know if you're in the chat. Congratulations, mates. Hyper, I will be in touch. £40 Amazon gift card coming your way. It's not rigged. Shut up. There's no possible way. What do you mean there's no possible way? I bet you'll be saying rigged if I won it. I entered. I guarantee people will be saying it was rigged then. Yes, well done, Hyper. £40 Amazon gift card coming your way, and I'll be in touch. Right, let's switch that off now. Would have been so funny to see you draw yourself. Yes, it would. I was kind of hoping on it, to be honest. It's not rigged, let's be honest. TD, don't forget to choose your card, buddy. No, on a real, thank you very much to everyone who's entered, and for your kind words as well about how you view the league to be, how you describe that kind of stuff. It's nice to know that we're doing stuff right, if that makes sense. So, yes. Oh, Padge. So, restarted lobby. We will be getting going shortly. We're missing one person. Not too sure who that person might be. So, just gonna have a look in Discord and see what the plan is for the lobby. It is Barbar who we're waiting on. Hopefully Barbar can get in nice and quickly. Internet connection issues for him, says Joseph Hales, thank you very much. for that clarification. Yes, so you'll be getting going momentarily once Padge Jr. has come back in. Padge Jr., have you any internet? So, as you can see on your screen, 12 laps for the sprint format race, 36 laps for the feature race. Top 8 drivers score in the sprint race. 8 points to first place, 7 points to second place, all the way down to 1 point for whoever finishes in 8th place. And then feature race will be where all the points are won. Fastest lap point is on the board as well. Should someone in the top 10 get it? Hopefully we're not waiting too much longer. I know what I can do in the meantime. There's already been a clip submitted to the stewards. We did see... No, I'm not doing that. We did see on in Quali live reaction. What do you mean? Show us the report. I wonder if I can do that. I could actually do that. I don't think it'd be very fair. It's just to pass the time, really. I don't want to do that. A replay. I don't see the harm in it. Let's see if I can get it set up. Just make sure that I don't show my Discord in the stream. That'd be terrible if I did that. Oh, that's the wrong one. There's 2 clips now sent in. Yeah, there's been 2 clips sent in for blocking. Hopefully we get going soon. There's only so much time we can wait for someone. Where did it happen? There we go. Let's see if we can get this up then. Rescale this a little bit. Yeah, so here is the first of 2 clips. You don't have to give an opinion, just show the viewers. Okay, let's do this. Production reel is over. You're very welcome, mate. That was a nice little voice crack as well. We're still waiting for Baba, so we have time to do this. So this is. Oh, let's just make sure that. Yeah, there we go. So this is CM21 then on his flying lap. You can see he's half a tenth to the good, which at the time would have given him provisional pole. That's a bit of unfortunate. Joseph Hales there, Smaller Smiley, Jellyman Tim, 10-10, and out of that he's lost a tenth, so that could be a penalty. But who to? Because, well, there could be 2 or 3 drivers actually that get that. It was a nice little spin there from CM21 at the end as well. You think it was clean, just off-putting. I'm not going to argue with you with that one. Let's have a look at Avenicus's then, I guess. I don't think 10-10 holds him up at all there. I think, if anything, Avenicus just trying to get a slipstream. Beautiful turn 3 though, has to be said. Chaz exposed the spinning. I think Charles was more annoyed that he was blocked. That's unfortunate. Yeah, he's lost a good 10th there in that turn 4, so again, I'll let you decide at home. What's happening with that one? What are your views? Watch it again. It's a short clip, why not? And we are getting going, so I don't think Barbar can make it. I think the connection issues have ruined his night. So yes, those are the 2 quali clips sent in. That will never happen ever again, so I hope you've enjoyed that. I don't know why I did that. Right then, we will have a few more minutes to wait, just while we get the setups, the strategies done. Hopefully you don't mind too much. We shouldn't be waiting too much longer. Don't need that anymore. While we're waiting then, let's get a poll up. Oh, Barbar is joined. That is terrible timing. If ever I've seen it before in my life. Again what? What's happening again? In the meantime, let's get a prediction up. It's glitched again. Wow. I think we're going to have to go to 25% and then 50%. I think that's my view on it. So grab a cuppa, everyone. We could be here for another 10 minutes just waiting for the lobby. 100%. Hey, I'm down. I'm down for 100. Well, as Deflated would say, that's not ideal. We did wonder about this glitch before Tuesday's race, but it never happened, so I'm not too sure what the problem is today. Double points, no way. You are never getting double points. It's only on Thursdays this happens. True. Hey peeps, you want to see something incredible? Look at my 301 new items available in my garage. I just can't be bothered to open them. And my 91 stickers available. Gosh. Oi! It's a nice livery, man. Look at that. It's beautiful. It's supposed to be gold and white, but you can't really find gold. You just have to deal with brown, to be honest. It's not, man. I'm about to time you all out. IRL livery. If you've got enough time, I'm down to create a livery right now. Live livery reveal. When the lobby's open, TD, please invite me. Let's create a livery now. Look, wow. Slap a livery together quick. This is what I imagine Deflated looks like in real life. This livery here. That's actually quite a nice design. That just looks like the Force India. Oh, that's pretty nice. No, well, why not? Let's go for IRL red. Definitely would be an all white generic livery. Let's copy that. That's nice. That's nice. I like that. Oh dear. I'm really making a mess of this. I don't know. What do you think? Oh, I'm on Do Not Disturb, that's why. Apologies. We're still waiting on someone. At least it's not brown. Oi. Why are you being mean? Oh, just going to check something actually. I think one of those songs was not good. Bros do side quests. I still beat people into the lobby. How did I do that? Who are we missing now? You know this sprint straight race is going to be an absolute carnage now, right? Yes it is. All out of the groove, completely understand that. You can see 18 laps there at the bottom left of the screen, so this is now officially a 25% race. Long night for Mark. Let's hope not. Sun God in for a good battle Sunday? Who knows? I seem to be a bit better at Austria than I was at Canada last week with my 27 seconds of time penalties. Yes, you did hear me right. I almost got disqualified from that race on time penalties alone. Josh is here now, so we can get going. Everyone feel free to ready up. Get this going. The race is going to be a bit longer than normal. 6 more laps in this sprint race. Again, format still stands, so at the end of this race it will say 25 points for the winner, but it is just 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So don't pay any attention to that, please. And then feature race. I imagine we'll be heading back into this lobby after the race and then setting up for a 50%. Right. I'm ready to get going. I'm sure you are too. Austria is a track known for time limit penalties, track limit penalties. So I imagine we're probably going to see a load of those tonight. Maybe not to the same extent that Canada was last week. I imagine Canada is one of those tracks that people just hate. Austria, people tend to enjoy that. Let's do one of these. do this prediction slightly differently. You got 5 minutes for this prediction, and instead of voting in chunks, you can now vote for individual amount of safety cars. Bet your channel points if you've been saving them up. Feel free to bet hard, but of course, when the fun stops, stop. How many safety cars do you think will be in this race? We'll do exactly the same for the feature race as well. I imagine there's not going to be too many safety cars in this Grand Prix because it's only an 18-lap race. But feel free to predict your channel points away. Reminder, there is stuff on the line. Driver of the day. Today, Tuesday night just gone, and on Sunday night this week, Padge is very kindly sponsoring £15 for the winner of the driver of the day. So that is something to consider if you are racing either tonight or Sunday night. Next week we are in Silverstone for the British Grand Prix, and Rids and Goldilocks very kindly sponsoring that one. £20 to the fastest lap of the race for all 3 races next week. And in case you missed it earlier, we did the giveaway reveal. IIRL Hyper has won the £40 Amazon gift card for the anniversary of our 250th league race. So thank you very much to everyone sponsoring, and best of luck with the future giveaways. Right. We are pretty much getting going now, so let's turn this music off. Hoping to be at 82 next Sunday, as I'll actually be at Silverstone watching BTCC. Oh, very good, Samantha. Hope you have all the fun in the world doing that. Right then. I'm finally ready for a race. I don't know about you. We have Josh on pole position. We have Avenicus next to him. And then on row 2 we have CM21 and Deflated, who is going to exit turn 1 in the lead. It's a decent start from Josh. It's a good start from CM21 in the Alpine. Round the outside and up into 4th place already. That's a little bit off the track. Avenicus has a huge snap out of turn 1, and it's now a Red Bull 1-2 as we head all the way down to turn 3, past the kink of turn 2. Avenicus looking to defend from CM21, and it's all nicely behaved in the background. Loads of shifting of positions. But so far so good. Threatening to go 3 wide there, that guy, but not anymore. We have a spinning Joseph Hales. Was the hero on Tuesday in the sprint race. Now could very well be the villain in that one. Who knows? As Felix and Frog are switching places. I have no idea where to look. Here's the tyre situation. Oh, and there's a big incident. Asthma Frog is round. That's a reset to track. That's a little bit cheeky from Asthma Frog. Might get pulled up on that as Joseph Hales dives into the pits, and Felix also involved in that. Josh going wide at turn 1, and CM21 and Avenicus looking to capitalise. No move from Deflated as the top 5. Top 6 make that, with Jacob looking pretty close. Asthma Frog, first time penalty of the session. He's still battling with Felix through turn 3, and that's where he's got his time penalty. Nice battle here. 10-10 fighting his way up the field, as ahead you've got both Alfa Romeos fighting. Jellyman Tim gets ahead of his good friend Smaller Smiley, and about to be charged down by 10-10 now. Might the volume up a little bit. CM21, fastest lap of the race. No points on offer, of course, in the sprint format of this race. DRS is now enabled. So deflated. Charges past his teammate. Josh knew the move was coming. Ooh, CM21 has had an issue spinning at turn 3, or maybe some contact with someone. We didn't quite catch exactly what happened, but something did happen, and he's lost 3 places all the way down now to P7 as J-Man Tim and Smaller Smiley battle into turn 4. Smaller Smiley gets ahead of his teammate. CTFD here looks quick. It looks like 10-10 is holding him up more than the other way around, as Barbar Jr. on the soft compound tyre for this sprint format race looks to challenge his teammate for a spot in the top 11 places. You can see there, just in the foreground going into turn 1, there are 5 cars very closely. CTFD, oh, he pulled out to the inside, and maybe he couldn't stop the car in time, maybe it was a misjudgment on the brakes, but 10-10 there, spun round, and out of frustration has retired from the Grand Prix. I imagine CTFD will be pulled up on the stewards about that one. He's lost a few places. TD has capitalised from all of that. And TD makes his way up in now into 12th place. That guy Barbar looking to get some points in this race. Up at the front, Deflated Steel leads. Venicus looking to size up a move on the 2-time reigning 81 champion Josh. This could turn into who saves their battery well enough here. Josh has an opportunity to save his battery behind his teammate, but he doesn't want to make sure that Venicus uses his battery and goes for a move down the inside into turn 3. So it's very difficult for those 3 in the middle of this battle. It's probably easiest for Jacob because he can save his tyres, he can save his energy, sit behind Snacks for a little bit, and then maybe later in the race can go for some moves. Stream is a little jittery at times. I don't mean when you change the camera around, I just thought I'd let you know. I'm not too sure my settings are perfect at the moment, but I'll if it gets any worse, please let me know. Oh, stuff off the track is TD, who did make a move on Barbar. Now CTFD getting back into the fight, but a lot happened there. I think Joseph Hales really nailed it perfectly when he said that drivers are going to be a little bit impatient in this Grand Prix. We've seen it multiple times this season actually, when there's been a lobby restart or something like that. Drivers have generally become a little bit more impatient. They want to get on with the racing, they want to make moves up the fields. As Padge went for a move up the inside of Barbar, I think it was, and not too sure what happened there. We didn't have the right angle for that on stream. Camper looking to fight his way up into the top 12. What was he doing? Well, it could have been a multitude of things. It could have been just a bad move. It could have been he outbroke himself. Scott Camper gets on the curb there. TD makes a lovely move around the outside to capitalise. It could just be a genuine error. Went for a dive, decided to back out, couldn't back out in time. Who knows? Yeah, that's not exactly what we want to see in our races. 2 Alfa Romeos battling. Greg is in P7, and I'm not going to say no man's land, but he's got space in front and behind him. Let's just put it that that way. CM21 is fought back up into the DRS range of the top 5. Makes it now a 6-way fight for the sprint race victory. Plenty happening up and down the field. We've got Barber, Codcamper, Padge and Felix all over the back of TD on his return to the league after about a month or so. That guy in CTFD fighting in the foreground there, going into turn 6 as we speak. Joseph House, Asthma Frog, not the sprint races they were hoping for. CM21 has passed Jacob into 5th place. And CTFD and CM21 both getting 3-second time penalties. Let's join the leaders. Barber and Codcamper also getting time penalties down in that midfield area as Padge has gone for a bit of a spin at turn 1. Not too sure, maybe there was contact with another driver. Is behind. Got a nice little battle between Avenicus and Snacks. Ooh, a little bit lag there from Avenicus. CM21 directly behind Snacks. And this is the Snacks we know and love. We saw in Season 2, if you were around back then, that Snacks was placed in 82 on his return to the league. And it was clearly too quick, but he never had the consistency to win the championship in 82, and he narrowly missed out by a handful of points. But this is, as Jacob has had an issue, he's into the pits even. So those soft tyres not working, loads of people into the pits. I mean, it looks like there's a safety. The amount of people pitting right now, you'd think there was a safety car, but oh, people have to make a mandatory pit stop because it's a 25% race. That's what it is. In the sprint race, you wouldn't have to make those pit stops, but because this is now a 25%, you have to make those pit stops. So that is why people are pitting, and it's caught me off guard. But this is the Snacks that we all know he can be. Just in Season 2 and Season 3, never really produced those kind of drives. We're starting to see the Snacks of old. It's Avenicus pulls to the right of the track, indicating he's going into the pits. Snacks has just caught him off guard. Oh, and crashing into the pits is deflated, and there's a full course safety car. Is it Avenicus who crashed or deflated? Yes, Avenicus, sorry, I've called that wrong. It's Avenicus who hit the wall into the pit lane. You saw there. Someone did that. And Avenicus has now got a new front wing. And a full course safety car is out. This is a perfect opportunity for Josh, Snacks and Jellyman to pit. However, the top two couldn't pit because the safety car came out once they crossed the final corner. Wow. Okay, chance for us to breathe. Everyone in that bottom 5 or 6 is pretty much pitting. Deflated here. If he can gain on the top 3, he should come out in the lead of the race. Josh and Snacks will obviously, everyone will have to adhere to a delta. If you speed under that delta, you will get a drive-through penalty. But I think as Josh and Snacks pit, Josh may come out in the lead here. It's all just a matter of time to find out. People are so impatient. Awful racecrafts this 10-10. That is not what we want to hear or see. You can see, coming out of the pit lane, is Josh. Deflate's going to fight it, but he has overtook on track there. Aspenfrog gets a drive-through. This is cheeky from Deflated. As he exited the pits, he was behind Josh. So, If I was Josh there, I'd feel a little bit hard done by. Josh came back onto the track and was about a front wing ahead, I would say. I'd say if Josh reported that to the stewards, they may be able to look at that. So, Jellyman Tim stayed out. I wonder if Jellyman knows that you have to box because this is officially a 25% race. I'm not sure he knows. Because under sprint race format, you do not have to make a pit stop. So that's what Jellyman is probably assuming is going on right now. Asmafrog got a drive-through under the safety car a few moments ago, so that's why he is DNF'd in the pit lane. Although Asma, if you join back, there will be a feature race happening afterwards. Last to something challenge for 10-10. That could be our next poll. Where do you think 10-10 will finish? From 19th on the grid in the feature race. And again, Jellyman has stayed out. That was a perfect opportunity for him to pit onto new tyres. So Jellyman does not know, it would seem, that you have to box in this race. So let's have a look then at position change. Jellyman Tim up the most. No surprises there for into the lead of the race. Up 13, however, he'll be disqualified if he doesn't use two different compounds in this race. You have more DNFs than Podium. It's because you just go into the pits and retire. It's not crashing out. It's, you know, just decide to call it quits early on. It's not a problem. Deflated is up 2. Past Josh and Snacks. Safety car is in this lap. A serial rage quitter. I think that could be your new Discord bio instead of what it currently is. Hint, hint. You broke your headset on Tuesday. Oh my word. Did that person who shall not be named that you were fighting with, did he annoy you that much? So Jellyman Tim will be the effective safety car. When will Tim put the foot down? He's gone for it. Obviously with 11 lap on medium tyres, he won't be able to defend for too long against the likes of deflated Josh Snacks CM21, all with brand new soft tyres on the car. And you can just see the grip levels compared with the two tyre compounds there. And deflated, this is a perfect opportunity to get the sprint race victory. He scored the most points on Tuesday. He's in a decent position to score the most points tonight. There goes Josh. Past Jellyman. And next on the radar is Snacks behind that Alfa Romeo. Felix and that guy swapping places. Just in the background you can see two cars going side by side if you hyper-focused on that. And Jellyman Tim has lost a second to Josh now. This is holding Snacks up. Snacks needs to get past here at the exit of the final corner. CM21 boxed in, no way through. Snacks needs to dump his energy now and get past. Otherwise he's going to be very, very vulnerable to the likes of CM21. Jacob Greg behind. Avenicus is back up into 8th. And there goes CM21 using the slipstream. There's plenty of contact. Bit of a slide for Greg on the inside. It keeps it out the wall well. Avenicus running outside of Jellyman. Nice move there, given the situation. Had all the brick in the road available to him. The CTFD makes his way past two drivers in turn number 6. Nice stuff there. Greg's past Jellyman. Jellyman. Tyres turning to Jelly right now as Felix gets past. And this is just tyre advantage at this stage in the race. 9 laps, 10 laps difference in tyre wear. That's what you see in front of you. And wouldn't be surprised to see Jellyman drop to the... Oh, that's a big send from that guy. And he's hit Felix. Again, a little bit of impatience there. That smaller Smiley making contact with Barbar. That guy's a little bit out of rhythm, it would seem, in some of the corners. Saw Cobb Camper going for a move. That guy fighting back. Oh, Cobb Camper squeezed a tiny bit, but has enough space on the exit of turn 8 and uses the DRS to get ahead. Back on board with the leaders then. These two have got a bit of an advantage. Oh, what's happened to Josh? You saw there, he had a moment at turn 1 and he's gone over the inside curve by quite a long way and he's lost a huge amount of time to his teammate. He'll have to push really hard if he wants to win the sprint race now. CTFD performing really well, but that time penalty may cost him points to Greg and Felix. Remember, only the top 8 will get points as we have Barbar dropping to the back of the field. And that's on the straight going into turn 4, so maybe some contact with another driver. CM21 with that time penalty seems to be sacrificing the podium as things stand. That time penalty is not going to help him. In fact, it might drop CM21 out of the points. It may drop him to 8th place, to be honest. Depends if CTFD can get within 3 seconds of CM21. Joseph into the pits and retiring the car. He will start 17th place in the feature race, which is coming up after this. Here's the time penalties then. CM21 and CTFD both on 6 seconds. They are going to be dropping out of the points at this rate. Just depends then if Smaller Smiley can stay within 3 seconds of CM21, but at the moment that is not the case. Josh has caught back up to his teammate pretty quickly. Time penalties galore in that midfield, and at the moment outside of the point area. Just shows you can go side by side on this track, and the more you go side by side, the bigger risk of time penalties you come under. These guys at the front won't have been fighting an awful lot, so that's why their races are clean so far. Final lap of the sprint race, CTFD gets another time penalty. Josh has to sit back. Snacks goes for a move up the inside, but to no avail. And Avenicus is off! Oh, it's a huge snap of oversteer. Maybe some contact that I didn't quite see. And front wing damage, but most importantly, down out of the points. And a long way back. Good evening, Demon Jonesy. How are you doing? Deflated then. Josh started on pole, but deflated. Took the lead from his teammate. Got some help with Jellyman holding up some of the pack behind him. Deflated wins the sprint race. Snacks finishes on the sprint podium. Jacob, Greg in the top 5. Good race from him. Felix in P6 once again, proving to us why he should have been an AT1 all along. CM21 and Smaller Smiley get some points, even with their time penalties. CTFD misses out by 0.6 of a second. We have Colcamper in 10th, TD in 11th. Avenicus should have been in the top 5 had it not been for what happened on that final lap of the race. Padge in 13th place, keeping it clean from time penalties. That guy 14th, Jellyman, didn't quite realise that he had to pit, so that's why he was in 15th place, and Barbar finishes in 16th place. Few retirements in the pits, one full safety car, and the game as given, COD Camper Driver of the Day, but Driver of the Day will be decided in the Discord after the race. There will be a driver vote on who you think Driver of the Day should be. That podium celebration is elite. As we have more Brits and Dutch drivers on the podium. Where have we seen that before, I wonder? So keep this sprint race in mind when deciding on Driver of the Day after the stream tonight. TD, I mean, I'm 5 places up, but I aren't happy. You aren't happy. Why are you not happy? So Deflated there takes the sprint race victory. Doesn't get 25 points for it, just 8 points for the winner, all the way down to 1 point for Smaller Smiley, who finishes in 8th place. COD Camper, good performance there from back of the grid all the way up to P10. Highlights as well for Greg, Felix. Jacob did well after a couple of mistakes in that sprint race. Snacks performing valiantly once again. And just the 3 DNFs. But of course, that's not the end of our proceedings tonight. We have a 50% feature race, 36 laps coming up. And a reminder to all drivers, yes, you will have to make pit stops in that one as well. Well, I can breathe now. The race certainly did not fail us in terms of excitement value. There was a lot going on. A little bit impatient, some driving out there. I know 1010 wasn't happy with some of the driving standards, and certainly we did see some tags from people. So maybe in this feature race, drivers just need to calm down a little bit. Custom grid will now be formed based on where they finished in the sprint race. Chat, I've got an idea of doing driver interviews after the race. What do you think? Yay or nay? Would there ever be an F2 category in IIRL? Just curious. Well, in Season 2, we had one season of F2. Deflated won it on the final lap of the season in Silverstone. Actually, I think he won it in the sprint race in Silverstone. The attendance wasn't amazing. We never really had a full grid for it, so we're thinking of expanding somewhere for next season or the season after that. I'm not sure F2's on our radar at the moment. I think we have higher priorities, I think is the way to put it, without sharing too much into that, because I'm not sure I can. Driver interviews give a bit of emotion to our season story. That is a very good point. So yeah, we will try and get maybe the top 3 in the feature race. Well, certainly we'll get deflated for winning the sprint. I'll put something in the Discord actually, so people are aware that's what's going to happen. So, feature race, 36 laps. We should see a one-stop. I'm not going to say it's the best or the quickest strategy. Up to the drivers to make their own decision, but from what we saw on Tuesday, we saw a lot more one-stops than two-stops. We did see a handful of two-stops, but remains to be seen whether that works for them or not. Let's do... let's do a poll this time. Who wins the feature race? Who should pop in there? Deflated, Josh, Snacks. Who else? Felix. Someone else. Cool. You can vote on the poll. Up for 5 minutes, which should be the gap between now and the start of this race. Used to do driver interviews, says Stephen Jones. It was good when there was drivers wanting to join, but many didn't. Well, hopefully we've got a new generation of drivers, I guess. And gosh, that makes it sound like you've been streaming for 10 or so years, doesn't it? I'm not calling you old, I promise. But yeah, sometimes when you get a new batch of drivers, they become a bit more interested or whatever. Hopefully we get some good engagement from it. Possible I've got to retire mid-race. My chest is hurting a bit, says Snacks. What is up, mate? Is it health related? That would be a shame if it was health related. But hopefully... yeah, hopefully you're well during this race. That would be a bit of a shame if you were to drop out. I think an IIRL gala meeting at the end of the season in England would be fun. Maybe it's to realise with the team's connection or something. Or like an in real life meetup. I wouldn't be against that. Just depends when, where, what we're up to, that kind of stuff. Mate, I'd be so happy for you to win, TD. Genuinely, I know I'm not supposed to be like biased or anything. I'm a neutral commentator, 99.9% of the time. But I would absolutely love for you to win the race. And I know you're only joking, but I'm being proper serious. I would absolutely love it if you won. So once again, another reminder, driver of the day will be decided in a driver vote after the race is done. And this race and the sprint race and quali as well will be all considered as we get going with the feature race. Brilliant start for Greg as he comes alongside Snacks into turn one, brakes later, and Greg has got both Jacob and Snacks into turn one. He's gone slightly off the track to complete the move, but I would say that is an unbelievable start from Greg, who is up into third at this race start. Oh, Jacob's been tagged by, I think it was Felix, but I'm not sure Felix did a lot wrong there. I think Jacob not turned into him, but was just drifting slightly. That's the way I see it. TD has had a phenomenal start, up to 6th already, and there's a spinning Avenicus for the second time tonight. And again, we're not too sure if it was contact or if it was just an unforced error. But Avenicus finds himself once again dropping places. Jacob has had a bad start, as we've already seen, but CM21 has had an awful start as well, down 8 places. Padge has also dropped 4, but that could just be being cautious on lap 1, as we have CTFD right behind TD Who's behind Smaller Smiley? Gosh, we can make a rap song out of all these rhymes. Oh, Joseph Hill trying to get past. CTFD squeezing him slightly. Very wide cars, these F1 vehicles. Joseph looks to go down the inside, but CTFD, brilliant turn 3 from him, stays ahead of Joseph on this occasion. There goes Snacks back down the inside of Greg and Felix, looking to do the same. We've got Red Bull leading this race. We've got 2 Aston Martins in the top 5 as well. Aside from that, it's pretty split with the constructors. And let's have a look at the tyres they're on. Only 4 of the 19 using a medium compound tyre for this opening stint. Smaller Smiley in P6, CTFD in P8, Camper in 11th, Barbar in 14th, as DRS is now enabled. I wonder if Josh is close enough to deflate it. He isn't, but no harm done. We've got Joseph Hales going down the inside of CTFD. He's pretty much all alongside. I would say that was Joseph Hale's corner, and makes that move stick up into the top 8. CM21 getting past 10-10. 2 drivers who qualified near the front. So lap number 4, everything starting to settle down, people settling into a rhythm. They'll be on full fuel loads, so this is the most fuel they've carried all night. With the restart as well, you would think that people will be keen to settle down, as we have a bit of contact between that guy, a TD I think, and CTFD in the foreground in turn 3. Yeah, people will be hoping to settle down now into a rhythm. Deflated leads from his teammate. Snacks doing well, up in P3. Greg doing phenomenally well to keep Felix at bay. Smaller Smiley, who is generally speaking better in the races than he is in qualifying, is having an absolute blinder at the moment, using those medium compound well to get back in DRS range at the top 5. Joseph Hales is following him through. We've got CTFD fighting to stay within that range as well. Then we've got TD, that guy, and CM21 all within DRS range of the leader, or the car ahead at least. But Camper was ghosted for a moment. Must mean you've had some contact somewhere. Ooh, Asthma Frog. Slightly off at turn 3. Getting back into it. Jellyman Tim. Battling with Jacob for 16th place at the moment. Evenica's just made a pit stop. And Camper has joined back, that's why he is ghosted. Yes, that's unfortunate for Camper. So, very much a DRS train forming. I wonder where the first gap is going to come by. Could be here. There's a move. Possibly from Felix. Good traction up the exit of 3. But really good respect from Greg. And Felix just lifts off as he approaches his teammate, realises there's no way He's going to go for a dive bomb on his teammate there. Lap number 6, and Deflated just biding his time. He's not trying to drop his teammate. I'm sure if he wanted to, he could go flat out for a couple of laps and try and drop some of these folk behind him. TD has dropped out of DRS range of CTFD, puts him under a lot of pressure from CM21. These two have incredible history. Meeting on Xbox for the first time in lockdown as TD gets time penalties, see going over the inside curve at turn 1. Codcamper has retired. I'm not sure if Codcamper has left. I think Codcamper has left the session. Maybe force feedback isn't working. Of course, when you leave a session nowadays in this game, it retires you as well. Yes, TD and CM21 engaged in a league with myself during lockdown in the first batch of COVID. So we've known each other long enough. CM21 comes out on top in that particular fight. Ten and TD all can't tell you how much time together these guys have been. Very good friends. Quick to banter each other in the Discord and meeting each other out on track. Tenten's got a beautiful run. He switched on the ERS and TD's just let that one happen. Knows it was going to happen eventually. It's 10-10, the reigning no assist champion and current no assist leader, now up into 11th place. Out front, not much has changed. We saw Felix get past Greg, but Greg has got good pace to stay with the top 4. Smaller Smiley not really in a position to try and make that move past Greg as well. CTFD struggling with time penalties tonight, would seem. 8th place and gets another early one tonight. TD's got one as well, as we saw earlier, and Evanicus as well. All Mercedes powered vehicles struggling with time penalties. Josh has snacks all over the back of him, but more importantly, Blake does not have the DRS. Josh has broke a little bit early. He could have gone for the send here, but he wanted the DRS, and he's got it. So now the move will happen. Josh ahead of Deflated. Wonder if Snacks will think about a move, and he's not quite close enough. As we have Greg and Smaller Smiley battling through turn 4 and 5. Padge and Avenicus dipping out of the Grand Prix on this current lap. And this is reminiscent of an old Austrian Grand Prix we had in the league, where it just seemed like everyone was sticking to each other like glue. I remember on that day Mr. Wiggles was P3 and he just couldn't get past the top 2 because they were fighting so much, and I feel it might turn into a very similar Grand Prix. Snacks looking to get past Deflated. He could have got there if Josh's car wasn't quite parked in the way it was. No moves into turn 4. Top 8 now, all within range. Left the car ahead. CTFD a little bit wide out of 4, loses a couple of places. I wonder if 1010 can push hard and get within DRS range here of everyone in the top 8. But there's not really any gaps in this big old cluster. The biggest gap you see at the moment is 0.4 of a second everyone is practically tailgating each other, and one mistake from any of these top 8, they're going to have a driver behind them crash into them at some point. So there's a lot of trust going on in this top 8, that no one makes that horrible mistake and causes a big old collision. My voice seems to be messing up. Joseph Hale's going for a double switchback on CM21 and Smaller Smiley. CM21 gets past Smaller. Will Smaller go for the move? Yes, he will. A little bit of contact, but no harm doing. And those medium tyres working well for Smaller. CM21 now has the inside for 6. Smaller choosing to back out on that occasion. Good fight here for the lead, and it's stretching from 1st to 12th. Everyone in the top 12. Oh, TD's had a bit of an error. Possibly some kind of incident with CTFD. They were fighting. Now everyone in that top 10 has DRS, with the exception of the race leader. It's getting very close, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some kind of incident. Got Felix trying to go for a move. CM21 gets a brilliant exit round the outside of turn 3. Felix on the inside seems to have that advantage. CM21 might have to back out of this, but with more contact, Felix looks like he's going to get that move done. CM21 doesn't want to give up on it. Felix runs a little bit wide, bit of understeer, a little bit more wheel contact between the two of them. And eventually, CM21, it looked like he was going to get past, but Felix has now got back ahead. Good fight between that pair. Can't promise that there's not going to be contact when you're running this close to each other. But they're doing a good job to limit the amount of contact. Joseph gets past Smaller. Those medium tyres are going to start to fall off a cliff now in the next few minutes. Smaller Smiley proving that point with that time penalty. A little bit of understeer perhaps as he goes to the inside of Joseph Hales. Brakes. And those mediums have still got a bit of life left in them. Nice overtake there from Smaller on Joseph, but now 10-10. I'd say he was 1.5 seconds behind when he overtook for what is now P9. He's done well to get back in DRS range, and he looks quick. That time penalty, though, will potentially cost them a bit of ground later in the Grand Prix once we have had the pit stop phase. I imagine the pit stops will be happening for these hard tyre runners around about lap 20. There or thereabouts. We may see an undercut opportunity. Towards the end of the race chat, I would love your opinions on who you would like to see involved in the Driver of the Day picture. Remember, I won't be deciding Driver of the Day live on stream. We'll be having a vote in the Discord at the end of the race, where the winner will get not only voted for, but £15 prize from Padge. Smaller Smiley, bit of a dive, and he's got ahead, I would say, a little bit cheekily there. The move was on. I'll grant him that one. But contact was made, and could this be the first real opportunity for someone to drop out of DRS? Looks like Smaller Smiley has it on this occasion, and he does. Needs to push hard though to make sure that he can catch back up to Greg. Snacks looking quick. Last thing you want to do here is outbrake yourself, because that will completely ruin your front wing. It will ruin the drivers ahead of you's race, and it will most likely, as we see CM21 and Smaller Smiley once again fighting. There's more contact between the two, and this time the handling model has ruined Smaller Smiley as he gets thrown into the wall. There is a full course safety car out, and Smaller Smiley will have to box onto a new set of tyres and a new front wing, deflated into the pitch. Josh is in, Snacks is in, Felix, everyone is in, even Smaller Smiley. Not sure that could be categorised as crossing the pit line there. He does have damage. So everyone is in. TD has recently pitted, so he doesn't need to pit, but he may still come out in 16th place. So a few double stacks going on. Felix has double stacked behind Snacks. Josh has double stacked behind Deflated. That is why Snacks is now in P2. Greg is in a well-deserved P3. CM21 up to P4. Josh 5th. Joseph in 6th. 1010 in P7. CTFD still holding on to spot in the top 8. Felix in 9th. Asthma Frog in 10th. And he's jumped ahead of that guy who was double stacking behind his teammate CM21. Jacob also seemed to double stack with Joseph, but might have been far enough behind his teammate to not have that adverse effect. Smaller Smiley, this has really benefited with that front wing change. Now only has just lost track position. Barbar's been brought back into it, although he is ghosted, so I think he is currently in AI. I can't see that. Jellyman's been brought back into it, and so of course is TD. I'm sure they'll all be happy about that towards the back end of the grid. That overtake into the pits was legal, wasn't it? I didn't see it. But yes, I would focus on the race. CTFD, make sure you get all the heat in your tyres you need. Safety car could be in next lap once TD has caught back up. So a nice little reset button has been hit. Here's the penalty situation. Everyone with 3 seconds there apart from CTFD, who has the 9. The biggest gainers so far, Joseph and 1010, who both retired from the sprint race, have fought their way back up into the top 6 and 7 respectively. They are the biggest gainers so far. The biggest dropper, who's still racing, is Jacob, down 8 places. And only 3 now on the hard compound tyre, CTFD, Smaller and Barbar Jr. Safety car coming into the pit lane now. Yellow flags have stopped, deflated. It's his call. And Snacks and Greg. Decent restart from deflated, but Snacks gets a better final corner, stays within range. CM21 looks to be the one possibly trying to catch people out here. Joseph Hales gets a 3-second time penalty now. That could seriously affect his options at maybe going for a podium, as we have Snack's looking for a move on Deflated. CM21 looking for a move on Greg. Exactly the same tyre compound and tyre life for all of these top 7. So nothing really to separate them in terms of tyres. CTFD and Felix battling. And once again, big train of cars seems to be forming. I know we've just had a safety car, but quite often at this track, you do see, unless you make a real mistake, or you're genuinely at a pace disadvantage or a tyre disadvantage, you are going to drop out of DRS range eventually. CM21 goes for a move on Snacks, both extremely quick in time trial. But who is going to come out on top in this battle? CM21 brakes just a tiny bit later, and as a result gets up into second place. CM21 has 2 pole positions to his name this season, but no race win. Has a handful of podiums at his disposal. CM21 aiming to do one better. Snack's also looking for his first win in 81, so is Greg. So 3 of these top 4 could be on for their first win either in the league or in 81. Joseph and Josh, battle of the 2 J's through turn 3. Josh, red light is flashing, meaning he's not on a lot of energy. I wonder if Josh is running higher wings. Needs to use more energy on the straights to stay within racing distance with each other, or maybe Josh just deciding to use a bit more. Lap 21. Just over half race distance. No more pit stops required for anyone. Everyone except Barber is within DRS range of the car ahead. And Asthma Frog currently doesn't have it on Felix down in at E9. CM21 looking at every corner, the availability down the inside of that Red Bull. We're used to seeing Red Bulls lead at this track, also it being called the Red Bull Ring. But will that stat become another outcome? Deflated has led a lot of laps here tonight in the sprint and in this feature race. In fact, I think he's led every single lap in this race so far. He gets a really good exit out of turn 1, and that's what keeps him ahead into turn 3. No one really in striking distance into turn 3. Asthma Frog holding off the folk behind him very nicely indeed. Those time penalties for Joseph and Tenten may cost them some points if the race were to continue in this fashion. These European tracks do tend to give a lot of time penalties. We're seeing hints of that today. Had it not been for the safety car, we've had a few more push laps. And potentially may see a few more penalties. We've still got time. The complexion of this race may still change. We may still see some surprises out there. The script has not been fully written. CM21 battling well. Not battling well enough into turn 3 as Snacks looks on. Joseph and Greg battling in the background. Greg positions his car very nicely for turn 4 and remains in 4th place. These top 3 will do well here. If they were to drop Greg out of DRS range, then these top 3 can purely focus on the podium picture. As Greg continues to battle behind as Josh gets back past Joseph Hales. Joseph Hales had a bit of a nightmare through turn 8 and has lost 2 places now to Josh and 1010. Felix in the background looking to capitalise. In the foreground you see CM21 having yet another look down the inside of deflated into turn 1 to no avail. Greg, does he have DRS? No, he doesn't. This could be the catalyst for change in this Grand Prix. Bit of a lift from Snacks allows Greg to catch back up, but he still doesn't have DRS out of turn 4. We may see a move here from deflated. Now he's been overtaken for the race lead. What is deflated's strategy? Is he going to save ERS behind CM21? Is he going to fight straight back? What would you do at home? Let me know in the chat. If you were deflated right now, what would your strategy be? CM21, a 3-second time penalty. And we did say time penalties are going to change the complexion of this race. That is changing it big time. Jacob has had a spin at turn 8 and TD's got a time penalty. I wonder if he's had to take off the track to avoid a collision maybe. Josh is past Greg, and Josh here could be sniffing an opportunity to capitalise on what's just happened. Josh can see on his HUD 3rd and 2nd place, so he doesn't know right now that CM21 has a time penalty. As 1010 with the DRS gets past Greg round the outside. Felix looking now for a move round the outside. Everyone trying to be a trailer park girl. Someone called Eminem. Tell him that we're copywriting his lyrics. CM21 now needs to force Deflated and Snacks into getting time penalties, and I know that's not what you prepare for when you prepare for a Grand Prix, as we have another spin by Jacob at turn 8 again. But there's no point CM21 trying to break out of that DRS range. It's just not possible on this track. Joseph Hales runs a bit wide at turn 1. Instead, CM21's strategy here needs to be, I need to force Deflated to come side by side with me and get a time penalty that way. That's gonna he's gonna have to sacrifice some of his track position here, CM21, and force Deflated and Snacks into getting time penalties themselves. It certainly is a spicy race, and I'm having a lot of fun watching it. Still 10 laps to go, and still anything can happen. We could see one of the top 3 spin, we could see 2 of the top 3 crash, we could see Josh not end up on the podium. He needs to stay within 3 seconds of the leader. JJ, I tried to save ERS, watch his lines and points to pass. I think the P2 is strong position at the end of the race. I know Deflated very well. He will be extremely irritated if he didn't win this race, especially now that CM21's got that time penalty. A quick glance at the standings. Josh Plaster leads the championship by 12 points. Deflated and Josh are tied on 97 points apiece, 12 points behind. So this is really a battle now between Deflated and Josh, who is going to lead the championship after this Grand Prix. I wonder if Josh's red light is still flashing. For the moment. So he's been harvesting energy, he's been saving it up. Everyone in the top 8 in a relatively good position here. That guy 3 seconds behind in P9, so the top 8 should all stay in the top 8 at the moment. I think Driver of the Day should go to 10-10. He's had an unfortunate end to the sprint race, but he's clawing back points in the main race. Very, very valid point. The issue is that time penalty. So we have 10-10 looking for a move on Josh. Felix looking to capitalise, pick the bones, but no change. And the longer that these fight, the more time they're going to lose to the top 3. These top 3 are doing really well here to maintain their pace and keep Josh out of that DRS range. Bit of a love tap. 100%. Gotta love those racing love taps now and again. I apologise if you're rewatching the race and you're part of this group battling for P11. Haven't really covered much of your race. I'll try and cover it as much as I can. Deflated has had a big issue in that final sector and has dropped out of DRS range of the race leader. Does he have DRS out of turn 1? No, he doesn't. Snacks here, sniffs his opportunity. Snacks needs to hope that he gets DRS on CM21 out of turn 3. Does he? Yes, he does. This could still be salvageable for Snacks. CM21 using energy to try and capitalise on this, but Snacks is also using it to get back within DRS range. Now he has got P2. Could Snacks be on the way to his first AT1 victory in IRL? Felix is past 10-10. In all of that commotion with Snacks and Deflated, Felix has made that jump. And Felix Bakero is once again baking. Oh, Padge, that's a shame, mate. Wheel failed on you tonight. Can't handle the heat. Well, it is a very warm day out there in Austria tonight. Commiserations. It's, you can watch with us the ending of this Grand Prix. It's going to be a close one. Still don't know who's going to win. Is it going to be Snacks? Is it going to be Deflated? Those are the two best candidates at the moment. Thank you, mate. Thank you, Padge. Hopefully the stream quality has been better. Got new internet, well, not new internet, better internet from our provider, so hopefully quality is better, the consistency is just as good. I'll try and get 1080p for next week. I'll do some research and do some test streams in the meantime this week. Lap number 31, and it's getting ever closer to Snacks' first AT1 victory. Deflated won't mind too much if he doesn't win this race. He will still finish on the podium. CM21, as things stand, he will still finish third. Josh is 3.3 seconds off the lead. And if we look at this leader gap, the top 14 are separated by 16 seconds. This is how much, and you can see on the track map right now, it's really not a lot separating the top 14 drivers right now. I know we had a safety car, and I know that did bunch the field up as CTFD boxes. Set of softs maybe, go for a fastest lap, but he's sped into the pit lane. It won't mean too much. It's down the inside. Here comes the move. CM21 sticks with it. CM21, this is bad news for him because the more that he fights with Snacks, the more time he loses to Josh. This could cost CM21 a podium by fighting with Snacks. Nice move from Snacks to go down the inside into turn 4. CM21 looking for a switchback, but to no avail. Josh is gaining on this group. Deflated Wee, fantastic move down the inside of Snacks, retakes P2, and Snacks' first win might not be on anymore. And Snacks has lagged out. What an unbelievably crucial and unfortunate series of events for Snacks. Join back, Snacks. It's not over yet. Josh is back within DRS range of Snacks, and if Snacks isn't careful, he may lose a podium to Josh here. He's joined back, but deflated in the winning position. Needs to keep it clean from time penalties. Here comes the move. CM21 tries to stick it around the outside, but I don't think that was a wise call. He's gone onto the grass slightly. There goes Josh. Past the disconnected Snacks. Snacks has rejoined. Now that CM21 has been overtaken for the lead, Snacks will get the podium back, but Josh has been given the biggest slice of luck. Now Felix is all over the back of his teammate. 1010 also within range. Could there be yet another twist in the screw? Joseph Hale's battling with Greg, who has had a phenomenal race and is well deserving of his spot in the points. 1010 looking for a move. Three laps to go, plus the one they're on. Including the one they're on, shall I say. 1010, lovely move past Felix, but that 3 second time penalty will catch up to him. Felix fighting back. Bit of a slide from Snacks and gets nudged by his teammate. This race has sparked into life with 3 to go. Chat, I need your help. I'm going to be calling the action, which I imagine is not going to stop until we cross the line. So get your suggestions for driver of the day in the chat, please. And we're going to be doing an interview with the leader of this race, the winner of this race, which at the moment is Deflated Wee. He has led most of the laps in this Grand Prix. He has taken the sprint race victory. Will he take another victory, this time in the feature race? Snacks has had a huge issue through turn 1, and he's lagged out again. This is cruel, cruel luck. And Felix has gone off the track. Joseph now up into the top 5. Padge, don't make me laugh, man. Time penalties will be taken into consideration. Snacks may jump 1010 and Joseph, but with 1 1/4 laps remaining, Deflated leads. Snacks has lagged out again. It's painful, and the AI has pitted him. Snacks won't even get points now. I cannot believe what I am seeing This is the biggest slice of misfortune I'm seeing in a long, long time. I will definitely be putting Snacks in there for Driver of the Day vote. 100% deserves it tonight. TD with a new fastest lap of the race. Some bragging rights coming home for the Mercedes team. CM21 does lead this Grand Prix, but with that 3-second time penalty, will not... 6-second time penalty, sorry, will not be finishing on the podium. The podiumisting stand will be deflated. Josh and Felix. Greg, if he can get past Felix in the final couple of corners, will help himself to another podium this season. CM21, it's been a valiant effort, but he wins. He takes the checkered flag, but he doesn't win. Deflated wins ahead of Josh. Felix on the podium. Greg in P4, then CM21, 10-10 and Joseph with those time penalties. That guy gets P8 to only be overtaken by Jellyman Tim and Smaller Smiley. Jellyman Tim, what a debut in the feature race tonight. And then comes the most unluckiest driver this evening, Snacks, who should be up there on the top step of the podium, some would argue. But instead, his internet has resigned him to 12th place. CTFD will come across to take the fastest lap of the race, and Barbar on his debut, not quite been the race that he was hoping for. TD thought he had the fastest lap. Oh man, I love it when TD races. You never know what you're going to get. And some donuts from out of nowhere. Why not, eh? Oh my goodness. And TD gets lapped. What a legend. Only legends get lapped in this business. Okay, that's enough now. What a donut. Oh man, Padge. The jokes get better and better. Whenever you're ready, Tom. You're taking out a DRS board, penalty to you. We need those DRS boards. Oh my word. Okay. Can you just finish the race now? There's a safety car. What are you doing, Tom? Oh man. Where is he? He's not online.
Hello. Doesn't give you an option to include audio.
No, it's automatically included. So Deflated wins the feature race. Josh in P2, only 4 tenths behind. Considering that double stack behind his teammate in the pits, I'm sure Josh will be pretty thrilled with that. Felix from out of nowhere, it would seem, onto the podium through time penalties. There you can see the top 10, and down the bottom of the grid we have Deflated in the party. How was that?
Yeah, not too bad. How was your race?
It was a lot more hectic.
we can't hear Sungo right now.
Oh, I've just realised I was muted in the party. My apologies.
We can't include our audio.
It's already included because I'm on PC.
Oh, is it? Oh, bargain.
Deflated, you led pretty much every lap. Sprint race victory and feature race victory. How was that for you out there?
When I crossed the line, I was expected to be all happy. The main thing, I was unlucky for Snacks, because he was on my gearbox for the whole race and looked like he was going to win it, but then he just kept disconnecting. He's not a happy boy.
I'm inviting Snacks in. I don't care if he finished 12th. I'm inviting him in, and we're going to have a chat with him in a little bit. Josh.
I don't think it'll be plus.
Josh has joined the party. A P2. Could you imagine that you finish P2 after that double stack in the pits?
No chance. I thought it would be a lot worse, to be fair. I thought I was coming out about P8, but obviously there was quite a few double stacks, so that saved me. I got, on the pit thing, my button didn't register, so I got late as well, so that cost me another position. So, yeah, I wasn't too fussed coming out in pit 5, and then just about trying to save the RS, and then Joseph was using quite a lot to get through a couple of races, so I lost quite a lot. I was trying to catch the top 3, I just couldn't do it. Then obviously it was a shame for Snacks, he didn't deserve that disconnect. Obviously that then helped me, so I was able to get DRS, and then I saw Chaz had the penalty, so at that point I just thought, yeah, the P2, because I don't want to risk going side by side in the last lap. I was happy with P2 at that point, so...
Yeah, I thought you might be. And you two were tied on points, Deflated and Josh, going into tonight, so Deflated now new championship leader. How do you feel about that, Deflated?
We spotted that just after bloody Canada. It was like, well, basically the first races they don't count. This is where it actually starts, because we're on exactly the same points. We both had stinkers starts to the season, so it's like we start now, where all the properly good tracks come in.
The Plaster dominance is over.
Plaster, yeah, he's got to reserve. That dominance is over.
Nah, I enjoyed the Plaster dominance.
I didn't.
It was alright a couple of races until about Imola when I actually had a chance to win that. He was just there.
He was just there, and it's like, oh, okay.
Now, on to Felix. Could you imagine in your first two 81 races this season, you've got podiums in back-to-back races?
Well, considering I was 82 about 2 months ago, no. No.
Yeah, how do you find it in 81 compared to 82? Like, what's the difference between the two tiers?
I feel like there are a lot more side-by-side battles in 82, and they don't exactly give each other enough room, whereas 81 is instance here and there, but overall it's like you have track you can drive into, and you know the other person next to you won't exactly hit you 90% of the time.
I know what you mean. It's yeah. So next week, lads, we are in Silverstone. One word, how would you describe Silverstone for the top 3 tonight?
Crash. I think Josh is going to crash.
Yep, it's happening. The crash is happening.
I'll take that.
It's written in the script. It's going to happen at some point. It hasn't happened yet, so it will happen.
Last race.
Red flag.
That's 2 words.
I forgot about red flags. I forgot they were actually a thing.
Nah, it's hyphen, one word.
Oh. Red flag, there you go, just like say it really quickly.
And before we
Red
go,
flag in Singapore.
let's have a chat with Snacks, who I think is possibly the most unluckiest person in the league. Certainly, you're on for your first 81 victory, and those disconnections have ruined you. Talk us through your emotions right now.
Even here.
I don't want to race anymore.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
It's not.
Is that it? You just don't want to race anymore?
Panic to invite him.
I'm pissed.
Yeah. And I'm not going to dwell too much on it, but genuinely, how did you find that race aside from those disconnections?
I was on the charge for a fucking flipping win.
Good save.
Thank you for not swearing.
I'm so furious. Sorry.
Well, your names, all 4 of your names will be in the hat for Driver of the Day. I might throw a few curveballs in there as well, with other drivers as well, but make sure you get voting on that. Snacks, thoughts about Silverstone next week?
I might not race, to be honest.
Oh, I'll give it a go.
You
Oh,
will be there. You will
No, I
be there.
mean, I might have something.
Nah, we'll force you. We're going to hold you hostage. You are racing.
Plans are cancelled.
We're going to tie you to your symbol. You actually race it.
Good luck finding me.
Well, we certainly hope that Snacks comes back for next week, puts this race behind him. Thank you all very much for joining me in the party, and yeah, I'm sure we might do this a bit more often. I think the interviews have been quite a nice addition.
It hasn't broken the stream, I don't think, so it might work.
That's the start.
If you broke another stream on this channel, I think we'd have to sue you. Deflated.
It's not me.
But yes, we will be at Silverstone next week. Thank you very much to everyone in the chat. We will get that Driver of the Day poll in the Discord as soon as we can. Remember, £15 to the winner. Thank you very much again to Padge for doing that. So make sure you get voting. And same again. Excuse me.
Thank you.
On Sunday night, 82 Driver of the Day will be winning a £15 voucher. And next week in Silverstone, Rids and Goldilocks, excuse me,
Especially again.
will be sponsoring the streams for £20 for the fastest lap of the race. Well done to Hyper as well for the £40 giveaway winner. I'll be in touch on Discord soon as well. Thank you to everyone who's been part of the chat. It's been a really fun stream, and we will see you on Sunday night with Deflated and Snacks for Sis Tier 2.